Aiden sat on a bench at the bus stop and sighed, kicking a rock out from under his Converse in detest of his shitty luck. What was supposed to be one of the best days of his life had quickly turned into one of the worst. It all started when he got off the plane to Texas, or more accurately, 6 months ago when he met the girl who had caused him to take the plane to Texas, Cassandra. He once thought of her name with butterflies in his stomach. Now he would strangle her if he thought she actually existed. Cassandra had randomly sent Aiden a friend's request on Facebook one day, and being the nice guy that he was, he accepted. Had he known that his decision would have led him here, he never would have pushed that button. They corresponded back and forth regularly, and Aiden eventually fell in love with her. It was strange to him to fall for someone whom he had met on the internet. He could distinctly remember making fun of some of his online friends who claimed it had happened to them. After all, how could you possibly fall in love with someone you'd never met before? But it did happen, and Aiden fell so hard that thoughts of Cassandra consumed his every waking moment. He knew that he had to meet her. The moment Aiden's financial aid for college went through, Aiden was buying his plane ticket to Texas, although he had never seen Cassandra on webcam or even talked to her on the phone before. She claimed that she was too poor for those things, and he could understand that. Everything that Aiden had, he had to work for. Few things in life came free. Aiden could hardly sit still on the 3-hour flight from Colorado to Texas. All that he could think about was the gorgeous smile that would be spread across Cassandra's perfectly pale face when she laid eyes on him. The promise of hot sex was prevalent on his mind as well. There was only so much jacking off on webcam that Aiden could do before he wanted something in return. Upon reaching his destination, Aiden was disappointed to find that there was no petite blonde girl waiting for him with open arms and an ear-to-ear grin. In fact, there was no one whom even looked remotely like her picture in the entire terminal waiting area. The enthusiastic smile on Aiden's face sagged into a frown as he plopped down into one of the hard plastic chairs with his small carry-on bag, waiting for her to arrive. He sent Cassandra several text messages, but she didn't respond. During the first hour of waiting, all the texts spoke of his concern. "Are you all right? Did something happen? Do you need me?" 3 hours later, Aiden grudgingly realized that he had been duped. Cassandra wasn't coming. Hell, she probably wasn't in the same city. Maybe she wasn't even a she at all. Not one to typically let stuff get to him, Aiden decided to take what little money he had brought with him to explore the city. Since he didn't want to carry it with him, and he'd be returning to Colorado the following afternoon, Aiden decided to turn his bag into the luggage drop-off and stroll around town in the clothes that he had on. Aiden took the bus downtown, hoping that he might be able to get into one of the various clubs that lined the Riverwalk. In Colorado, not many of the clubs checked ID, so Aiden wandered the streets with his older friends freely. That, unfortunately, didn't appear to be the case in Texas. Club after club rejected him. To make matters worse, as he was walking back to the bus stop in preparation to give up and go find an all-night diner to hang out in, a man with a ski mask and a gun apprehended him. "Give me all your money," the man said, waving the gun at Aiden's head like he meant business. The street that Aiden was on was dark, and there wasn't anyone else around to call for help, so Aiden surrendered his cell phone and wallet without a second thought. Inside Aiden's wallet was his bus pass, driver's license, credit cards, and his plane ticket to Colorado. Aiden's heart sank as the man ran off around the corner with everything that Aiden needed to get back home. The smart thing for Aiden to do would be to call his parents and beg them to rescue him from this mess, but he couldn't force himself to do it. They had warned him not to come, that the internet was full of fraudulent people with secret identities and hidden agendas. He didn't want to prove them right. Even after he had been stood up, Aiden had planned to lie about it to his family and friends back home. He was going to tell his parents that Cassandra was amazing, but that he didn't think it would work out between them. Aiden's friends would hear a similar story, with some made-up hot sex thrown into the mix. Maybe the same guy will be driving the bus, Aiden thought as he headed for the bus stop. That would be his best chance of catching a ride to the airport.